Shalom. Want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah, and Bashem Harakar Kadosh. Double honors goes to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And a sincere shalom goes to the elect Akim out here that's pushing this truth in all four corners in truth and sincerity. Well, as you can see, I got an article up here from the Baltimore Sun newspaper, and it's basically talking about Lexington Market, and they underground vaults, and basically they saying it's got past secrets, which we all knew about, but you know, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua is being brought out. Brothers from my camp did a video down there roughly around a year ago, talked about Lexington Market and why it's called the world famous Lexington Market. Salaki. It's called the world famous Lexington Market because, for one, it's one of the oldest markets in United States, I believe, and also is the marketplace. And the marketplace, it was called the marketplace because they used to bring slaves in from the Inner Harbor and Fells Point and march them up into Lexington Market, and they would auction them off there. But I mean, they not going into this in this story right here, this newspaper story. But you know, we not ignorant of Satan's devices. You know, they try to use the media to try to clean things up and try to make it seem like things wasn't bad as it was, but we know it to be bad. We know those things were bad. We knew they was doing things. I have a friend that worked for Coca-Cola, and he delivers there. He told me in a basement part of the market, he says they have cages in there, you know. And basically, they'll take the merchandise in there and lock it up. He said it was old cages. It wasn't nothing that was newly built in there. So, you know, it's only common sense to tell you that that's where they used to cage the slaves up at. But I'm going to go into the story, you know. It was published March 9th. It say on and off more than a century and a half of tunnels and vaults beneath the Lexington Market may have been an ideal place for people to do things they didn't want other people to know about. And you already know off the top, the things that they didn't want them to know about was transporting them slaves. They set up there. That was initially, you know, what it was built for, to transport the slaves, so they wouldn't walk. I mean, you know, they wanted to protect their merchandise. But they going on, it says distilled bootleg whiskey, lewd dancing, communist plotting, a snowball fight in July, and all these possibilities were mentioned by Richard Messick, a volunteer with the local history organization of Baltimore Heritage. You know, he going on his vain opinion. He's saying what he believed, but he's not going to bring out the whole truth of the matter, because let's just be honest. Right now, in Baltimore, Lexington Market is predominantly, people predominantly coming there and spend money, or the so-called Judah. It's Judah. But I mean, even still, a lot of them wouldn't be upset about it, but they still don't want to bring it out because they don't want to possibly spark in one mind to have an uprising. They don't want that. Continuing on, he led a tour Saturday of the caverns beneath the 237-year-old Food Hall, the nation's oldest continually operating public market. So, like I said, 237 years ago, it was slaves that was being auctioned. So, you know, that's what I say is not far fetched. It's only common sense. The vaults and the tunnels were installed after the Civil War. Messick told about 2 dozen history buffs we think they originally were used as refrigeration to keep produce and meats fresh, but we still don't have all the answers. It was used as refrigeration to keep the produce fresh 237 years ago. I mean, that's the wickedness of the white man. They always trying to downplay their wickedness like we don't know what happened. Like they always say, man, that was so long ago. They try and play it down like things ain't really happened. You know what it was for, man. It was to store them slaves down there. Vault tours are conducted the second Saturday of most months, except for June, July, and August. Baltimore Heritage members are charged $10. Everybody else pay $15. So they sitting up here charging you money to see the history and how those basically those secret compartments and walking paths and cages down in the Lexington Market is they letting you be a part of history. Mary Jalil Lenya, 26 of Baltimore, grew up nearby. As a child, she shopped for groceries at Lexington Market. Now a graduate student at the University of Maryland, she didn't know until recently that the tunnels exist. As a student of cultural anthropology, this is my jam, Lena said. What happened in the past determines how Lexington Market and the city will be utilized in the future. We what's happening in the past is still gonna happen today, like the scripture says, slightly paraphrasing. It was setting up there used as a way to oppress Judah, and it's still doing the same thing. Even without the slave trade, you got drug trade down there. You got all the bad foods down there that they selling Israel that is not good food. Don't get me wrong. There's some halfway decent stuff down there, but for the most part, they selling chitlins. They selling pork heads, pig heads. They selling abominable foods, crab, shrimp, and lobster, things like that. So it's still hurting us. Founded in 1782, when there was far western edge to the city of Lexington Market, was Mississauga Words, Baltimore's first suburban shopping mall. And you're right, it was Baltimore's first suburban shopping mall because you was able to buy slaves there, man. Vendors in the blue Conestoga wagons pulled up by the team of 8 horses sold ham, butter, turkey, and eggs from the 2 a.m. opening bell until noon. The description was charming but unclear. Messick said, "Is whether enslaved people were sold alongside the animals and produce. Come on, man. You already know they were sold, man. It's just common sense. You gonna say it's unclear because you don't want to tell the truth. But we know that's why we called Esau the damn devil. They deceivers. They lie and they hide the truth, man. I have found a specific mention. I have found a specific mention of it in my research. So if you found a mention of it in your research, man, it gotta be true." He said, "But I wouldn't be surprised. The slave trade was unfortunately booming back then. You already know that, man. You just having semantics and all that and try to trick people up. But hell, I'm gonna go read a little bit more. It said during the prohibition, the underground vaults were raided at least once on suspicion of bootleg whiskey was manufactured in a cave-like chamber. In addition, law enforcement officials from the era suspected the vaults were being used by communist sympathizers. In 1930, the U.S. Rep. Hamilton Fish Sr. led a contingent of of officers in the U.S. Capitol Police to the vaults, according to the news accounts. Fisher was searching with a truck that believed carried papers pertaining to local communist activity. He had a bill landing a detailed shipment. Now I'm trying to find out about slavery. I don't really care about that. Salakia. Yeah, they basically touched that slavery thing slightly, but we all know the truth. That's why they trying to deter from the truth. They only out of these maybe 15 paragraphs, they only said something about the possibility of slavery having something to do with Lexington Market. So we already know for a fact that's what it is. You know, that's why we know Esau the goddamn devil, and you know they gonna get double they cup. They gonna get double what they did, man. They gonna get repaid for what they did, man. And I mean, I ain't bring out no scriptures. I paraphrase a little bit, but you know, I'm gonna end it on that note. Hopefully, this video was edifying. Uh, Trying to do my due diligence and be a watchman, but you know, Esau they just are always trying to downplay something. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully this video was edifying. Shalom.